Let's take a closer look at website performance goals in our step 4, website performance. It's important to have goals for your website and not just wing it. And when you think of goals for the website, there's a few things to consider. Your first set of goals will revolve around traffic. And there's two things to think about here. One is goals for driving traffic, like for example search engine positioning, where you're found on Google and where you want to be found on Google and that sort of thing. And then how much traffic is going to come in, overall numbers and different types of sources of traffic. All of those goals can be set, including a bottom line number of unique visitors. How much traffic would you like to see on your website? And then a second set of goals can be built around page visits, which is basically what pages do visitors look at on the site. How many different pages they look at, how much time they spend on the site, what pages they ignore, because that's important because you may not need those pages. But definitely want to set goals around your traffic and goals around page visits. One of the most important sets of goals will come from generating leads. Most of the clients we work with really put a lot of time and energy into generating leads from their site, because actually most business websites aren't doing e-commerce. Most websites are doing lead generation or promotion. So that's a critical factor, and you've got to have a goal so you know if you're doing well or not doing well. And then if you are an e-commerce site, then you want to definitely have sales goals from the website. All these work together because you can only have goals if you have traffic and page visits, and so you should have a sense of how they all work together. And then finally, the bottom line is you want to have an overall budget for your website and a return on investment. And we feel very strongly that if you do internet marketing the right way, it's going to give you some of the best ROI of any marketing efforts and any basically any type of business model you have, because you can reach so many people in such an inexpensive way. So this is kind of an overview of the types of goals you should have and a more clear definition of website performance goals. Now let's dive a little deeper into actually looking at website stats, because website stats are the way that you're going to find out if you're making your goals or not. So it's very important that you monitor your website stats. And really, stats begin with unique visitors. This is the number of people that are on your website. And I add the word here qualified because you can have 1 million people come to your website, but if they have no interest in being there, then you're just wasting bandwidth. You want folks that are qualified coming to your site. And you want to measure the unique visits, and you can do this in Google Analytics, and I'll show you how Google does that in just a second. But I want to talk just briefly about the idea of a qualified visitor. And the way internet marketing works, if you do the things we talked about in this 4-step process, you will get qualified visitors, because people don't go to websites without intent or purpose. That's one of the things we've seen in user testing, is that people don't do channel surfing on the web. And if they do, it's a very small minority that does that. Most people go to a website with a specific purpose and with a specific need. So your unique visitors, for the most part, should be qualified. And you want to use your stats to set up what we call sales funnels, which is the path that people take on your site. Say they come in on the home page and they evaluate your products and services, then they go to the Contact Us and they contact you. That is a very deliberate sales funnel that needs to be established on your website, because these people are qualified and because you want them to contact you or to purchase. And the bottom line is you've got to have Google Analytics set up to do this. Now, there are a lot of stats packages out there, but we feel like Google is the leader, and really Google is going to be the most cutting edge because they have the money and resources to put into analytics, and they want you to use analytics so that you'll use their pay-per-click service and see the kind of ROI you can get from pay-per-click. So I'll look at Google Analytics here in just a second. But when you do set up a Google Analytics account, you'll quickly see that there are so many key indicators on your website. Each business will have its own set of unique key indicators, and you'll get a lot further than just qualified visitors. But find out what works best for you and tie it back into your strategy, and then you can make the best use of Google Analytics. Let's take a look at a Google Analytics page for one of our clients. I've taken the client name out of here, but you can get a sense of a lot of really interesting things on this slide. For example, this is the dashboard for analytics, and you'll see a menu system on the left, and you'll see basically what everyone needs to know about their website right there in the middle of the page. I will point out that one of the key indicators here is the bounce rate. This site's 33%. That's a pretty decent bounce rate. You want your bounce rate under 50%. And once again, a bounce rate is people that come to the site and leave immediately. So if you take a look at this dashboard, you'll see that Google does a great job of giving you a very brief overview of the number of visitors, what they're doing on the site, how quickly they leave, how long they stay. And the map overlay on the bottom right, you'll see what countries they come from, and you'll get a nice overview. You should be looking at this data on a regular basis. Let's dig a little deeper into the navigation system of Google Analytics, and you can see exactly what it is that they look at. If you look at the traffic sources, you'll see that you can see everywhere that people are coming to your site. You can see if they come from search engines, if they come from typing your URL in, if they come from other websites. You can evaluate what kind of keywords they use to find your site. All of this is great data. You can also, in the middle section here, see a content overview, basically what they all do on the web. And you can see where they come in, where they leave, how long they stay on various pages. You can see a site overlay, which gives you a visual scan of what people do on your website. And then you can also, in the third section here, see goals. And these goals are things that you set up in Google to track your content and your conversions and where people abandon the website and where they come in and that sort of thing. So the thing to do with Google, and I'm not going to we spend hours doing this, but go to Google, set up an account, watch their instructional videos and read their content and learn about Google Analytics. It's a pretty straightforward process. You need to put a piece of code on your website so that the account will function. It's a great resource, a must-have for all websites. Here is a little bit deeper look at Google Analytics as far as the content overview. The first summary page we saw was focused more on visitors. This focuses more on what the visitors do on a website. So if you combine this kind of data with usability testing and getting feedback from your customers, this is great information. Really, it can help you tweak your site, monitor the web performance, and make sure you're maximizing the return. So this is a kind of a brief overview of website stats and Google Analytics. What we want to do next is take a look at conversion strategies, and we'll do that in our next video.